Hey. This is a video that I've been meaning to do for literally months. This is something I get asked about on a daily basis, and I wanted to make just a big like conglomeration of answers to frequently asked questions because a lot of people have questions and I like having all the answers because I have all the answers too. It's of course referring to the thing right in the middle of my face, my septum piercing, and how I got it, why I got it, and things like that. In the description, I will be putting a bunch of links to different parts of the video, to different answers for questions. So if you have a particular question you would like to ask me, you can click the little linky in the description and I'll answer it for you in real time. Technology. Alright, let's get started. First question, why did you get it? This is a weird question for me to answer, especially when someone at school asks it because there's really no like one-word answer. I got it because I like how it looks. That's why a lot of people get like body modifications or cut their hair a certain way. They just like how it looks. I know it's a really lame answer. There's nothing really else to it. Like, this was not like a function thing. This does not help me on a day-to-day basis. It just, I think it looks nice. Question number 2, one of the most commonly asked, if not the most frequently asked question. Did it hurt? I love it when people ask me this question because I like answering it and seeing the look on their face when I tell them. No. If you can picture just like a little needle just poking your nose, that's what it felt like. It didn't hurt, really, I wouldn't say. It was more like a pinch than anything. Like I've had paper cuts that hurt worse than this. I remember waking up the next day, as a matter of fact, like going to itch my nose and being like, what is in my nose? Oh, that's right! I totally forgot that I'd had it. That's how like painless this was. But no, it really does not hurt. I didn't get it for the pain. I got it because it's cute, and that's really it. How was the procedure? What did they do? Well, first off, I walk in and my piercer's name is Kelly. Kelly sat me down and she swabbed out my nose with antiseptic or something like that. Then she used her little gloves and kind of felt around in this, why am I acting this out? She felt around in the tip of my nose for like the thinnest spot of skin. And that's another thing people don't really understand. This is not going through cartilage. Like, okay, this is gonna sound weird, but if you take like your fingers and you stick them in your nose, like a fair distance up in your nose and wiggle them, it's hard to wiggle them because that's cartilage. However, if you take your, like just your finger and you put it at the bottom of your nose and just kind of do this, it's very flexible because it's just skin. It's just skin hanging down, and that's what is actually pierced when you get your septum pierced. She was feeling around for like the thinnest little spot, which is right at the tippy top of your nose. And then she took a needle and kind of felt around in there, and she said, okay, now take a big deep breath in and just let it all out. And I thought I thought she was saying that because she could feel that I hadn't been breathing because there were gloves in my nose. But no, all of a sudden, like, there's just more poking, and then she's like, okay, now you can lay back down so I can put the jewelry in, but if your eyes start to water, please don't touch them, there's a giant needle in your nose. And I could see it. It's like in the my peripheral vision. I'm like, oh, okay, we'll just lay down here. Okay, this is fine. Then she put in the jewelry, and that was about it. How long did it take to heal? For me, it took a solid like 3 months for it to like finally get as like ache-free as it possibly could. It did say, I think it was 6 to 8 weeks for healing, and then just, it was either 6 to 8 weeks or 8 to 10 weeks. And I'm leaning towards 8 to 10 weeks because they usually give you a really nice wide sort of like section for how long you should kind of wait until you switch it out. But it went by really fast, and I think this is really cute by itself, so I wasn't in too much of a hurry to switch it. This is definitely one of the faster healing piercings because the place that it's going through is such a small, thin place. Do you have any more septum jewelry? Yes, I do. I don't have like an enormous collection, but I think I have about half a dozen pieces. Again, like I said, I don't really switch out my circular barbell all that often because there's really not a need to. It goes with a lot of my outfits, so I don't really find the need to spend extra time unscrewing it, slipping it out, screwing the ball back in, and then having to put it back in later. Nah, son, that takes a long time. So we just leave it in a while and it fits just fine. Shows the trick where you flip it up and make it go away. This freaks so many people out, but like you can tuck this up and then you can't see it. Like obviously you can see it like in your nose. Oh, this is an attractive angle for me. You can see it in like your nose, but it just flips back down. It doesn't hurt. I can kind of feel it, but it doesn't really like feel bad. How did you convince your parents to let you get this piercing? My parents did not take all that much convincing. My mom is kind of the one that calls the shots on this. As you can see, I come from a pretty lenient household when it comes to expression, in particular, like physical expression. She kind of just told me it's your body and it's your money. Spend it and do with it what you kind of want to do. I will say though, she was like hardcore nudging me towards getting a nostril piercing, like the little one on the side, and that like every person and their dog has. And I was like, no. Not to say that I don't like nostril piercings, but it's not like the same. It's not the same thing. When did you get your septum pierced? Just this past June. Have you ever gotten any negative comments on your septum piercing? No. No. Not really, no. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback about it. I've never really gotten anything like bad. Obviously there's always going to be people that kind of like joke about it. My mom kind of said that it would take her a while to get used to, but there was nothing that really implied genuine hate or even dislike for my piercing, so I can't really say that I've ever had like a negative experience with it. It's fine, and that's it. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section, or you can check the description for all of my social media. You can ask me a question on there, or give me a follow if you like what I'm posting. I'd love to answer your questions because, again, I know everything there is to know about everything, and I like enlightening the people of Earth with my all-knowingness. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, thanks guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.